So, at 2051, I say, we're still within the conversation of, because we are dealing here with flirtation, we are not dealing exactly with a romantic relationship, we're just dealing with a flirtatious relationship.
Could you explain that difference? You say to the tribunal it was flirtatious, not romantic. Could you?
Yes, flirtatious is a playful way of interacting with a person of the opposite sex. It could be initiated by a female towards a male, but flirtation is an informal, joyful, playful way of interacting with a person of the opposite sex. Playful way. A romantic relationship is a romantic relationship. Maybe at the end of my presentation, counsel, through you, it must be clear to all and sundry that this relationship never gravitated to a romantic relationship.
Sorry.
In the true sense.
Say that again.
This relationship was a flirtatious relationship with all the levels of flirtation. Some at a low ebb, somewhere, somehow it's deep. It borders on being romantic. But at the end of the day, as I indicated to you, counsel, the intention was to have a romantic relationship with the complainant. So we're talking flirtation now. Chairperson, we are at page 1168, 2051, where I say, I'm an undikatil. In other words, you've robbed me. She responds, and this is this terminological gymnastic that is an interplay between the West and Africa that I'm going to deal with now. Her response is Haini, laughing. Chairperson, the little Sotho or Tswana that I know is something where I could score
could you
5.
just give the time?
Sorry. 2051, when I say in the Katiwe, laughingly she says Haini. And I'm going to deal with that. Thank you, Chairperson.
So you were beginning to make your attempt at Sotho speaking.
Yes, I know that the Sotho, Tswana, and Pedi, somehow you find that there's a word that covers both the 3 languages, but I've heard it said, and I may be wrong. You see, where she says Haini laughingly, it is still within the context of flirtation. It is not a rebuff. Let me develop my theme. In Sotho, it would be something like Hebanna. Is there such a thing, Chairperson? I've heard it.
Ask the interpreter.
Hebanna.
I am 100% Xhosa speaking, but I found myself saying Batum.
Batum.
It is an exclamation. That's what I'm trying to say. The Haini does not necessarily say no, but it's an expression of an exclamation.
All right. JP, let's speak
As
to
to
Xhosa.
as to Hebana, I'm not certain.
Yeah, Batum. I've heard Batum. I've heard Batum, by the way. I've heard Hebanna. Let me stick to Xhosa. When somebody says...
But sorry, the interpreter, you mentioned Ebana. What did you say?
When it comes to Hebana, because of it's not my first language, but I've always heard colleagues when there's a particular conversation, out of being surprised or out of being shocked in whatever it is that we're talking about, then you hear someone say Hebana.
Yeah, well, that's accurate.
JP, can I ask
I
you,
hear about Batum as well.
Yes.
is this an expression of annoyance?
Not at all. There are 3 laughing emojis there. In a conversation between a man and a woman, and I'm not claiming any expertise here, but I'm an adult male Xhosa person. Within the context of an interaction, when you say Haini, and there is this laughing emoji, you can simply imagine somebody saying Haini and laughing at the same time. But this is not a rebuff. I am going to show why I say it's not a rebuff within the twinkling of an eye. And then at 2052, I say, unamaqhinga, which is, uyandiqhatha, which means As I said earlier on, you are robbing me. Then she says, at 2052, uyabona ndiyenzile obuyifuna. You see, I've done what you asked me to do, which lends confirmation to what I said earlier on, which is that she did send me a picture. Uyabona ndiyenzile obuyifuna, and she does that laughingly. Then in response to Unamaqhinga, she says, at 2053, end it.
What did you understand this to mean?
It is in keeping in our culture with somebody who is not going to necessarily express it, but as we know, no man in our culture will say, when I proposed love to X, they said yes at the outset. As I understand it, this is a game between a male and female.
Well,
They will start off by saying hi for that matter, and any married man here will tell us that, yo, wandisokolisa ke lo mfazi.
to mean?
Which means she gave me a hard time, this woman.
Now, I'm just talking about a married man on purpose. I'm talking culture now. I'm a Xhosa man. Even before you say end it, it is understood in an interaction where you show interest in someone that you're not going to get yes as early as yesterday.
JP, the expert made attempts at this point on all of these to give you advice about this, that at this point, she would have advised you, or you should know that the person is not saying yes or is not agreeing. You should.
That does not find support from the context of this interaction which I've unfolded. I'm just saying, even if she had not said end it, it would be implicit in a conversation between a man and a woman, be it a woman who is eyeing a man or be it the other way around, that there's an element of ending it. So, but when she says end it, it is earth-shattering. Then it means I must roll my sleeves and prepare myself for this. Things are not going to be easy. And it is an invitation. I couldn't understand it differently. I still don't. When a woman to whom you've shown interest says end it, it means end it. Isebenzele.
Well,
I
all
thought
I was
that was
saying
the
to
word
you
that was used, Miss Interpreter. Isebenzele, end it.
It's end it.
But the expert was saying, forget that cultural prism or understanding of yours. By now, you should not have proceeded.
I don't necessarily appreciate the perspective of one from the Western culture imposing their thinking on us as Africans. In any event, if you're talking about the expert, Miss Lisa Vetten,
Yes, I am.
admittedly, she's never even been to the Eastern Cape. She never interacted with the complainant and I. She was just developing a thesis. I'm just talking from the perspective of being the person who interacted within the context of my culture.
Thank you.
I defer to what she says. She may write books, such as many have done, but I'm wary of notions and concepts from the West that are imposed on us as Africans. So, 1169, end it, you are tricky. That statement, in my view, is inconsequential. She laughs, but when I say you are tricky, she says, it's part of the task that I have given you. 2054, page 1169.